Dear students, in previous class we discussed about a new chapter, that is acids, bases and salts, and we learnt definitions by watching the experiment. Okay. If you like my class, my videos, like and share, subscribe my channel to get more videos. Okay. Now we are going to discuss next topic, that is reaction of acids and bases with metals. Okay. Reaction of acids and bases with metals. When acids and bases reacting with metals, what are the products? Okay. In this experiment we observe that. Okay. Here, to material required for the experiment, first take a stand. Okay. Take a stand and test tube, HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, and zinc granules and a rubber cork, and take a long delivery tube and a soap water tray, and take a candle or matchstick. Okay. These are the required material to observe this experiment. Okay. Take them and arrange the whatever you are observing in the diagram. Okay. Take that material and arrange them in this order. Okay. Now first take a stand. Okay. In this stand, by using arrange a test tube. Okay. Arrange a test tube. It is filled with zinc granules. Take a few grams of zinc granules and add the hydrochloric acid. Okay. That is HCl. Okay. Add hydrochloric acid. Keep a rubber cork at the mouth of the test tube. It has a small hole. From it a delivery tube is passing the gas which is going outside. Okay. When reaction takes place between the hydrochloric acid and zinc granules, the gas is evolved in this test tube. In this time, this gas is passing through the delivery tube. Okay. Passing through the delivery tube, and when we bring a near lighted matchstick or a candle to the mouth of the delivery tube, it will give a pop sound. Okay. It will be burned by giving a pop sound. In the time, based on that experiment, we can able to say the evolved gas is hydrogen gases. Okay. The evolved gas is hydrogen. Okay. Once again, listen carefully, dear students, listen carefully. Here, when reaction takes place between acids, bases and metals. Okay. Reaction taking place between acids, bases and metals. Okay. Here, take required material. What we need means, here take a stand and a test tube and rubber cork, zinc granules, hydrochloric acid, a long delivery tube and soap water tray, and last one a matchstick. Okay. Here arrange the material whatever we taken for this experiment in the show figure 1. Okay. This is the in figure or in diagram. Here, when we add zinc granules into the test tube, after that take a few grams of zinc granules and add hydrochloric acid into the test tube. Okay. The reaction will be takes place between the hydrochloric acid and zinc granules. The gas is evolved, which is passing through with the help of a hole through rubber cork, and it will be passing through the delivery tube. Okay. Here, the mouth of the delivery tube, when we bring a lighted matchstick, it will produce a pop sound. Okay. It will produce a pop sound and it will be put off. Based on that pop sound, we can say that when acids reacts with metals, it will produce hydrogen gas. Okay. In this experiment, we said that when acids what is the acid we taken in this experiment? Hydrochloric acid. What are the material? Metals. That what is the metals means? Zinc is a metal. Metals, when treated with acids, it will produce hydrogen gas. Okay. In this experiment, we observe this. In that experiment, we observe that when hydrochloric acid is treated with zinc metal, it will be produce their salts. Okay. They will produce their salts and hydrogen gas will be evolved. Okay. Hydrogen gas will be evolved. It is indicated with in the form of chemical equation. It is called chemical equation. Next, how bases are treated with metals. Okay, how reaction will be takes place between the bases and metals. Okay, here NaOH is a base, zinc means it is a metal. Okay, when reaction takes place between metal and base, it will be formed a salt and hydrogen gas. It will be produced salt and sodium zincate and hydrogen gas. Okay, here take a test tube, take in a test tube, in a test tube some few grams of zinc granules, okay, and add this sodium hydroxide. This is the zinc granules, and add few ml of sodium hydroxide into the test tube. In that time, the chemical reaction will be takes place between the zinc granules and sodium hydroxide. It will be also form Na2ZnOU. O2, it is called Na2ZnO2 is called sodium zincate. Sodium zincate. And it will be produced hydrogen gas. When in a chemical reaction gases are evolved, it is used in the by using, it is indicated with by using upward arrow mark. Okay. Here finally we observe that when acids and bases are treated with metals, the reaction will be takes place between them and it will be produced hydrogen gas. Okay. Here now the students going to discuss about reaction of acids with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. Okay, once again, reaction of acids with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. Okay, reaction of acids. What is mean by acids we know. Okay, now what is mean by carbonates? Okay, carbonates means which have the CO3 formula in their compound. It is called carbonates. When the compounds contain HCO3, okay, which are called hydrogen carbonates or bicarbonates. The compounds which have CO3, which are called carbonates. The compounds which have HCO3 in their formula, which are called hydrogen carbonates. See, for example, here take two test tubes. Okay, take two test tubes which label as A and B. Okay, label them A and B. In first test tube, okay, A test tube, add 0.5 grams of sodium carbonate. Okay, Na2CO3 means sodium carbonate. What is the first heading in that? Here acids is reacts with carbonates. Reaction of acids with carbonates. This is the first one. Reaction of acids with hydrogen carbonate. This is the second one. Okay. Here take two test tube and label them A and B. Here first test tube filled with 0.5 grams of sodium carbonate. Okay, 0.5 grams of sodium carbonate, and in second test tube or B test tube take 0.5 grams of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and add first test tube, that is A test tube, 2 ml of HCl. Okay, 2 ml of HCl into the first test tube. Okay, the reaction will be takes place between the sodium carbonate and hydrochloric acid, and add 2 ml of hydrochloric acid into the second test tube. The reaction will be takes place between the sodium hydrogen carbonate and HCl. Okay, how you can write chemical reactions? Observe here. In first A1, first A test tube, what is the material we taken here? Sodium carbonate. Okay, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 plus what we added here? 2 moles of HCl. 2 moles of HCl. It gives rise to 2 moles of NaCl will be formed plus NaCl plus CO2 plus H2O. Okay, H2O will be formed. Here, according to law of conservation of mass, a chemical reaction must be balanced. That means the mass of the reactants will be always equal to mass of the products in a chemical reaction. See how this chemical reaction is balanced or not. Here how many sodiums are present? 2 sodiums are present. Here this 2 is called as a coefficient value. It is applicable to total elements which is present in a chemical compound. Okay. Here sodiums are present in left side of the arrow mark, which are called reactants. After right side of the arrow mark is called products. Here how many sodiums are present? Here 2 sodiums are there. Here also these 2 sodiums are present. Next how many carbons are there? Only one carbon is there present in reactants. Here also only one carbon is present. Here how many oxygens are there? 3 oxygens are there. Here oxygens 2 plus 1 oxygen is present. 3 oxygens are balanced. Next how many hydrogens are there? 2 hydrogens. 2 hydrogens. Okay, hydrogens 2. How many chlorines are present? 2 chlorines. These 2 applicable, the sodium as well as chlorine. So this balance is equal. Okay, that means when sodium carbonates or carbonates when treated with acids, it will be form salts, carbon dioxide and water molecule. Okay, second equation in second test tube, what will happen? Here see what is the what is the material we taken here? See sodium hydrogen carbonate, we add HCl. Okay, add HCl. The reaction will be takes place between them and it will be form NaCl. Okay, NaCl plus CO2 plus H2O. Okay, here also same byproducts which are formed in equation 1. See when sodium, Na means sodium, H means hydrogen, CO3 means carbonate. Sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate when treated with HCl, that means hydrochloric acid, the reaction will be takes place between them and it will be formed sodium chloride. Okay, it is called sodium chloride. NaCl means sodium chloride. It is also called as table salt or common salt. Okay, here sodium chloride, this is a salt, will be formed and carbon dioxide in water molecule also found in this chemical reaction. Okay, once again, dear students, listen carefully. Reaction of acids with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. Okay, in that take 2 test tubes. Okay, take 2 test tube. In first one label them A and B. Okay, A and B. In test tube A, add few grams or 0.5 grams of sodium carbonate and add 2 ml of 2 ml of HCl into the first test tube. Okay, A test tube. The reaction will be takes place between sodium carbonate and hydrochloric acid. It will be formed 2 moles of sodium chloride. Okay, NaCl means sodium chloride and carbon dioxide and water molecule will be formed. Okay, next in second test tube, okay, B test tube, when we add HCl to the sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate, the reaction will be takes place between them and sodium hydrogen carbonate when treated with hydrochloric acid, it will be formed sodium chloride. It is a salt will be formed and carbon dioxide plus water molecule will be produced in the chemical reaction, will be formed in the chemical reaction. Okay, in the above 2 reactions, evolved carbon dioxide is passing through the lime water. Okay, passing through the lime water, the following chemical reactions will be takes place. Okay, when calcium hydroxide CaOH2 taken twice, it is known as calcium hydroxide when treated with carbon dioxide. Okay, when treated with carbon dioxide, it will be formed CaCO3, means calcium carbonate plus water molecule. Okay, here calcium carbonate is indicated with downwards arrow mark because it is called when we use downwards arrow mark means it is formed as a precipitate. Precipitate means insoluble substance is called precipitate. Okay, insoluble substance is called precipitate. Again, on passing excess carbon dioxide, the following reaction will be takes place. On the passing excess of carbon dioxide, excess excess of carbon dioxide, the following reaction will be takes place. Here when the precipitate which is formed calcium carbonate is formed in the above reaction, take here as a reactant, and when we add water molecule and carbon dioxide, it will be formed calcium hydrogen carbonate or calcium hydrogen carbonate or calcium bicarbonate will be formed. This calcium hydrogen carbonate is soluble in water. Okay. Once again listen carefully. In above two reactions, evolved gas is passed through the calcium hydroxide. Okay, calcium hydroxide, when we pass carbon dioxide through the calcium hydroxide, it will be formed calcium carbonate. It is formed as a precipitate. Precipitate is indicated by using the downwards arrow mark. What is mean by precipitate means insoluble substance is called precipitate. It is settled down in the apparatus. Okay, it is settled down in the apparatus. Okay, and water molecule will be formed. On passing excess carbon dioxide, the following reaction will be takes place. When the calcium carbonate is formed in the above reaction, when we again add some water molecules and carbon dioxide, it will be formed as a calcium hydrogen carbonate. Calcium hydrogen carbonate, it is a soluble substance. Okay. Next, neutralization reaction. Okay, what is mean by neutralization reaction? Here, when acid is treated with base, okay, when acid is treated with base, it is called neutralization reaction. Okay, it is also called as acid base reaction. Okay, for example, take a test tube. Okay, take a test tube and add few drops of sodium hydroxide. Okay, add few drops of sodium hydroxide. This is the sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide solution, and add 1 or 2 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, add 1 or 2 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, this color will be changed into pink color. The solution color of sodium hydroxide doesn't have any color first. Okay, when we add the phenolphthalein indicator 1 or 2 drops into the sodium hydroxide solution, it turns into pink color. Okay, it turns into pink color. Okay, the reaction will be taking place between sodium hydroxide and phenolphthalein indicator. So that's why the solution of the color will be changed into pink color. Okay. Next, add 1 or 2 drops of HCl. Okay, add 1 or 2 drops of diluted HCl. Okay, in that time when we add 1 or 2 drops of or feed 1 or 2 drops of hydrochloric acid into the test tube, the pink color will be disappear. Okay, the pink color will be disappear. Why that will be happening means when acid is added to the base, the acidic nature, okay, the acidic basic nature of sodium hydroxide is nullified with HCl acid. Okay, the effect of base is nullified with base, so that's why the color is disappear. Okay, once again when we add few drops of sodium hydroxide into the test tube, again test tube, and add phenolphthalein indicator 1 or 2 drops of phenolphthalein indicator, the pink color will be again appear. Okay, in the time again once again add sodium hydrochloric acid into this test tube, again the pink color will be disappear. What is happening in this test tube means why sometime pink color appears, why sometimes it will be disappears means the chemical reaction will be taking place between base and acid. This is called neutralization reaction. When reaction is taking place between acid and base is called neutralization reaction. For example, take NaOH, this is a base plus HCl, this is a acid, base, acid. When reaction takes place between them, it will be form NaCl plus H2O. Okay, NaCl means it is called as salt. When reaction takes place between the acid and base, it will be form salts and water molecule. This chemical reaction is called neutralization reaction. Here also already we discussed about that. When a person is suffering from acidity, okay, when hydrochloric acid is produced in our stomach, the chest pain will be occurring. Okay, in that time the problem is called acidity. When a person is suffering from acidity, he want to take antacid tablets. Okay, the term antacid is important. Okay, he want to take antacid tablet to get relief from the acidity. Okay, this antacid tablets have the basic nature. Okay, this is called here also when he wants the persons who suffering from acidity, when he take antacid tablets, it will be in the stomach also neutralization reaction will be takes place. That means when reaction will be takes place between acid and base is called neutralization reaction. Reaction of acids with metal oxides. Reaction of acids with metal oxides. Okay, see, take a metal oxide. Okay, CuO means copper oxide. Copper oxide is considered as metal oxide. Copper, it is a metal. O indicates the oxide. Copper oxide when treated with acids, HCl means hydrochloric acid. Here treated with 2 moles of hydrochloric acid. When reaction will be takes place between them, it will be form copper chloride or metal chlorides and water molecule will be formed. CuCl2 means copper chloride. CuCl2 means copper chloride. Copper chloride and water molecule will be formed. Once again, when reaction takes place between acids and metal oxides, metal oxide means copper is considered as copper considered as metal and oxygen, copper oxide, metal oxide and hydrochloric acid. When reaction takes place between them, the copper chloride and water molecule will be formed. See, observe, check it balanced or not. Here how many copper molecules there? Only one. Here also only one. Here how many oxygens are there? Only one. Here also one oxygen is present. How many hydrogens are there? 2 hydrogens. Here also 2 hydrogens. Here how many chlorines are present? 2 chlorines. Chlorine 2. Okay. According to law of conservation of mass, equation is balanced. Okay. Next, reaction of base with non-metal oxide. Reaction of base with non-metal oxide. Okay. Base means calcium hydroxide. CaOH2 taken twice is called base. Okay. And non-metal oxide. Which is non-metal oxide? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is considered as non-metal oxide. When reaction takes place between the calcium hydroxide and carbon dioxide or base and non-metal oxide, it will be formed calcium carbonate plus H2O. Now, dear students, we are going to discuss about what do acids have in common. What do acids have in common? Okay. Here, prepare 4 different solutions. Okay. In that, first one, glucose solution. Okay, glucose solution, that glucose formula is C6H12O6, glucose solution. And alcohol, take any one of the alcohol. Okay, ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, propyl alcohol, like that. Okay, next hydrochloric acid. Okay, hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, these are 2 different acids. Prepare these 4 types of solutions. Okay, in these 4 types of solution, which solutions are conduct electricity and which solutions do not conduct the conductivity. Okay, do not conduct the electricity. in 4 solutions, which solutions are conduct electricity and which solutions do not conduct the electricity. Now, we will observe, okay, by doing an experiment. Here take a 100 ml beaker, in that keep 2 graphite rods in them, okay, and take 2 different colored wires which connect to the graphite wires, okay, and take another 2 free ends to connect the AC plug that has 230 volts with connecting the bulb, okay. Once again, take a 100 ml beaker and keep graphite rods in them and take 2 different colored wires which free ends connected to the graphite rods and another free ends connected to the AC plug and complete the circuit by connecting a bulb, okay. Here add HCl solution into the beaker, add dilute HCl hydrochloric acid solution into the beaker, okay. And when we add the HCl diluted hydrochloric acid, when we pour into the beaker, the electricity will be conducts between 2 graphites and through the AC means alternating current plug, in that the electricity will be passed and the bulb will be glow, because when we pour hydrochloric acid solution into the beaker, it has free electrons, okay, it has free electrons. So, that is why the current will be passing through the electrical wires and the bulb will be glow, okay. As well as when we pour sulfuric acid into the beaker, it is also has free electrons. So, in that time also the bulb will be glow, okay. When we pour glucose and alcohol, it does not have the free electrons. So, that is why the bulb does not glow when we pour the 2 solution, because when it conducts electricity means the substance which we are pouring, the solution which is pouring, it must be contains free electrons. When it contain free electrons, in that time only it will be conduct the electricity. When it do not have the free electrons, it do not conduct the electricity, okay. Based on that, what we say, that means acids have commonly H+ ions, okay, H+ ions. In that time only the electricity will be conducted, okay. When we add basic solutions, okay, when we add basic solutions into the beaker, in that time when bulb glows, it will produce OH- ions, okay, OH- ions. In this, HCl gas evolved here by bringing dry litmus paper and wet litmus paper, okay. When we bring dry litmus paper to the evolved hydrochloric gas, when it is present in gaseous state, there is no change in the dry litmus paper, okay. When evolved gas is in the state of liquid, in that time the wet blue litmus paper turns into red. That means liquid hydrochloric acid will be acts as acid, but when it is present in the gaseous state, it does not act as HCl as acid, okay. What do observe when water is mixed with acid or base, okay. What do observe when water is mixed with acid or base, okay. For example, take a test tube and add sodium hydroxide pellets into the test tube and add few ml of water, okay. When sodium hydroxide pellets dissolve in a test tube, in that time it will be produce some heat energy. This process is called exothermic reaction or exothermic process, okay. Once again, take a test tube, okay, this is a test tube and add few sodium hydroxide pellets into the test tube, okay. In this test tube, when we add water molecules, the sodium hydroxide pellets will be dissolved. When we touch the bottom of the test tube, it will be produce some heat energy, it will be very hot to touch, okay. Based on this process, we can say that it is a exothermic process, okay. why heat energy will be producing in the test tube means here acids here H2O sodium here water molecule is treating with sodium hydroxide. In that process heat is evolving. Here some acids are present which when we mixing with water it will be produce heat energy also. Here what is the precautions to mix acids with water? There are two important precautions or care are there. What are they? See, care must be taken while mixing acids with water. Okay, care must be taken while mixing acids with water. Okay, here see very important point. Acids must always be added slowly to the water with constant stirring. Okay, here acids must be always acids must always be added slowly to the water. For example, take a beaker or test tube. Okay, this is imagine in this my hand, right hand, it is present in acid. Acid take lightly slowly this and add into the another beaker. Okay, another beaker slowly. When we add acids to the water molecule, it will be produce some heat energy. It will be exist in the test tube. But when you add water to the test tube, when you add water to the acids, in that time the evolved energy is enormously and it will be produce high heat energy. In that time, sometime the test tube will be break down and it will be may burn with your parts of the body. So that's why we remember it very important. Here acid must always be added slowly to water with a constant stirring. Okay, don't try to add water to the acids. Okay, don't try to add water to the acids. Okay, next another one point is there. What is mean by dilution? Okay, the mixing of water, acids or bases, it decreases the hydronium ions or hydroxide ions in the solution is called dilution. Okay, very important. Once again, what is mean by dilution means the mixing of water molecules to acids or bases. It decreases or reduces the hydronium ions or hydroxide ions in the solution. This process is called dilution. Okay, I think dear student, you are able to understand all these concepts. If you have any doubt, please comment